look like?
Hillary Swank. 100%. Why? Did you think someone different?
No.
What?
No,
You have somebody?
we were talking Princess Haywire.
Oh, man!
Why?
I was just excited because I thought Doug was going to come back with an answer you didn't like. I didn't know what it was going to be, but Jenna says gorgeous Academy Award. The lady at my local Stop and Shop looks just like I just thought it could have
I got stopped one day. Someone asked me to sign an autograph, and I did.
We're like, oh, you
Wait a minute.
I get that
exactly
with Brad Pitt all the time.
Yes, no.
That's
That's so
Daddy.
That's Photoshop, Nick. Let's talk some Baltimore Ravens now. Yesterday, the NFL released their Pro Bowl roster. Some Baltimore tied record with 12 initial selections. Lamar Jackson and his favorite target, Mark Andrews, leading the way on the offensive side of the ball.
That's really
Doug, what do you make of the Ravens getting so many selections?
I said this before, Coach. I think it makes the case for Russell Wilson to be the MVP of the league even stronger. I understand that Lamar is a happen, right? Like my son, like every 10-year-old boy wants Lamar Jackson jersey, and just if anybody has a size medium, let me know. You can't find them anywhere. Literally, they are sold out across America, every size outside of youth small, and even those they get delivered. I think you'll get them by Valentine's. So, I mean, he's a happening, and he has taken over, and it's unbelievable how they jump on teams and don't let them up. But in terms of value, and this goes to, remember LeBron a couple years ago when Steph Curry was the unanimous MVP? And LeBron started by saying, kind of like I did, like, look, Steph Curry has had an unbelievable year, the wins, the points, the assists. But if you want to have a discussion about real value, right? And people crush LeBron James. And I said at the time, like, he's kind of right there, right? Because he helps you at both ends. He does some things that you can't see. And if you took LeBron James off the Cavs, it's a house of cards. You take Steph Curry off the Warriors, there's still probably a playoff team. That's the same thing with the Baltimore Ravens. They have a tremendous roster. Offensive line is ridiculous. The defense has been fixed simply by getting Marcus Peters.
And getting healthier.
And they got Earl Thomas. That was a smart addition, right? That they actually got better at safety since last year. And then they have a great kicker. And this is a little bit like a better version of Tebow time, right? That's how the Denver Broncos got to the playoffs that year and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they ran it, shortened the game, and then played to Matt Prater, who's the best kicker in the game. So there's a little bit of that. And then, of course, he's unbelievable, Lamar is, in the red zone. But if you take Russell Wilson off the Seahawks, what do you have? Right? What do you have? The guy rarely, if ever, turns football over. When he plays well, they win, or he's running around back there trying to make a play at the end of a game. When he plays poorly, as he did 2 weeks ago, they get demolished. I would say he's a more valuable, if you take true value to a team, Russell is more valuable in the pass game, on third down, even if you tell me this guy's ridiculous in terms of the touchdowns, the red zones, and the Ravens are the best team in football, but it's because their overall roster is better, along with Lamar playing great.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the Pro Bowl selection determining the value of the roster. I think that becomes a big popularity contest, and obviously if you're winning, you've got much better chance of getting the Pro Bowl. And what's the excitement that surrounds a team? That's a huge factor in Pro Bowl voting as well. And Lamar has obviously driven that excitement, so the people are going to vote for those players. It's hard to think that Baltimore would be anywhere near where they are without Lamar Jackson. This is a perfect fit between the coordinator and that player, that Lamar Jackson. And if you didn't have either one, I don't think we'd see the success that the Ravens are having. And the defensive players are benefiting so much from the way that this offense. Yeah, oh my God, fewer snaps. Not very much pressure.
Playing with the lead.
Playing with the lead. Very rarely are they behind. Very rarely are they under pressure to make plays. Most of the time, the other team has to do things that are outside of the game plan that they came into. So I think they're all benefiting from that. I really like Russell Wilson, and obviously what he's done in Seattle is impressive. But Lamar Jackson, without him, I don't think we see anywhere near the number of Pro Bowlers that they have.
So Russell Wilson was a guy I bet on to win MVP before the year because I thought Seattle was going to be way better than everyone thought. Most people thought they'd be the third best team in that division. Russell Wilson, I've said on this show, is the most underrated great player of this decade. Like, people have always tried to, oh, Andrew Luck's better than him. Oh, he's a product of... Russell Wilson has never gotten his just respect, so I'm with you on a lot of this. But Lamar Jackson has been so clearly the MVP that I do wonder if some of this is, because you said something very interesting there, which is it's a better version of Tebow time, which is a dig at Lamar. It is, we don't want him to be MVP because we don't think this is actually long-term sustainable. And I don't care if it's long-term sustainable. This year, you said Russell never turns the ball over. Well, neither does Lamar because they got the same number of turnovers. Just in the passing game, take away all the running. Lamar's got a higher passer rating and has thrown for more touchdowns than Russell Wilson. And it's not like he's throwing the ball like Tebow, 100 yards a game. He's going to throw for 3,400 yards this year in to go along with 1,100 yards.
Throwing about $150 a game. I mean,
no, he's throwing 210 a game.
In the real games, it's around $150 a game.
Well, I don't know what you define as real games. What I know is that just their passing numbers. Lamar hasn't beat handily in touchdowns. Russell hasn't beat handily in yards. In the totality of it, Lamar is running away with it. And I think they have I know they have a very good coach. I know they have the best kicker I've ever seen. But that offense, if you had a typical quarterback, is so drastically different that I don't think you can say, oh, this would be a really good team with another quarterback. Maybe another great quarterback. If you switched these two quarterbacks, that'd be really interesting. Because all Pete Carroll wants to do is run the damn football. I feel like he would, as much as he loves Russell, he'd love to have Lamar as well. And I feel like Baltimore could do amazing things with Russell Wilson because they're both great. But I don't think anyone's been better this year than Lamar Jackson.
Well, look, he's going to win the MVP. I'm not fighting on what's going to happen. By the way, curious, why is the Pro Bowl picked before the last two most important games of the season? Like, you want to talk about being a popularity contest that makes no sense and why we don't pay attention to it. We've already announced the Pro Bowl, and you know, they're going to have to go through another 50 guys to actually get the rosters for this the week before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the Pro Bowl. When you see a guy's been a Pro Bowl selection, it's like, what level?
Right.
How many guys dropped out before he came in? And
here's the sustainability is the issue, and also the question becomes, what happens in the offseason when teams adjust?
But that's irrelevant to the conversation.
What happens if Greg Roman leaves?
And there's the other part. Like, if Colin Kaepernick's sitting out there, remember, he could have been a Baltimore Raven if his girlfriend didn't put a meme out there with Django Unchained.
Maybe.
Right? Likely would have been, how good would he be in this system, you know, a year ago or this year? But the Greg Roman thing, look at what he did in San Francisco, the Cap. Look what he did in Buffalo with Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, or maybe.
And then this is a better version of that because the entire organization has put a better roster around a better player.
Maybe the answer to that is Greg Roman is one of the few offensive minds in football that is not trying to square hole round peg something and says a guy that's undervalued to the rest of the league, Colin Kaepernick, guy that's undervalued still to the rest of the league, Tyrod Taylor, and a guy that was undervalued in the draft, Lamar Jackson. We're going to shockingly build an offense around the skill set of our players. But Lamar and they've won 10 in a row. Right. In the last 7, they've beat New England, Houston, San Francisco, and Buffalo. Throwing the football in the last 7 games, Lamar's